Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be doing another review on these two Lamborghini models, the Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggra made by Maisto and the Lamborghini Reventon made by Burago. So I'm going to do a comparison video between the Maisto model and the Burago model. Both of these models are very similar in price. They're around the $30 to $50 zone. Both of these are fully opening die-cast models, and I will show you all the details inside after. And both are obviously Lamborghini models which Maisto and Burago make quite a lot of. But which one is the best one to buy? Because they cost the same, but are there any details on the Maisto or the Burago model that might give it that step up in the overall finish of the model? So both of these models are quite similar. Let's start off with the Reventon model. Now, firstly, as we can see, this one is a bit more striking in comparison with the Superleggra. The front end is done okay by Burago. The headlights here are nicely done in this clear lens, and you can see the main headlights quite nicely, but you've also got quite a lot of spacing between the headlights and the body of the car, which is not the best, doesn't look too good. And I'll show you the comparison on the Maisto in a minute, but the spacing is quite big, and there's quite a lot of panel gaps between the panels of the model car. But what I do like about the Burago model is the grills at the front, which you can see, very nice. The overall finish of the front end of the model is done okay. The sticker is not the best sticker, to be honest. I've seen better stickers, and there is one on the Maisto model that is better. Not the best, it's not very clear, you can't see the Lamborghini text or the Lamborghini ball very well. But overall, I think the front end of the model is okay. It's not as good as the Maisto, in my opinion. Which I will come across to now. The Maisto Superleggra is done in this very nice kind of metallic orange, very nice under bright light. You can really see a sparkle in the paintwork, and very nice finish by Maisto. The headlights are done quite nicely as well. The panel gaps aren't as bad as the Burago version, but clear plastic lens, you can see the main lights very well, and I think overall it's a good front end by Maisto. The badge is again just a sticker, but if we look closely on this badge, we can see that it's not that bad at all compared to that badge there, which is not very clear and not very prominent on the front. This is quite a good badge, got good size to it, and looks really nice sitting in the middle. Now these grills at the front are just fake plastic grills, finished in look-alike grills, but they're not real mesh grills. And the front splitter is also finished in this metallic orange colour. So if it was my opinion, I would probably put the Maisto Superleggra ahead of the Reventon in terms of the front end. If I had to give the front end a score, I'd probably give this a 5 out of 10, and I'd probably give that a 7 out of 10 on the Superleggra. Reasons for panel gap is a lot less compared to the vast panel gaps here and here on the Burago compared to very nice fit-in panels on the Maisto. The sticker is a very good quality sticker. It looks very nice. If that was on a MR Collections model, you probably wouldn't question it. Good quality, and the overall proportion and front end is very nicely done, and also the paint as well. I know the Reventon is always kind of in this matte black, but it's not the best quality paint finish on the Burago compared to the Superleggra. Really nice paintwork by Maisto. So let's look around the side profile of these cars. Now I will open up the models shortly and show you the interior and the engine detail. Let's take a closer look on the wheels. The wheels on the Reventon are poorly done by Burago. I think the overall wheel is done okay, but there is absolutely no caliper. Well, you can't see a caliper around the disc at all. There's nothing there, and I know it's a cheaper end model, but even on the Hot Wheels models you could see calipers and they're the same price. So I don't think there's any excuse for Burago for ignoring their calipers on the models, because on the Maisto model you can see the Lamborghini black caliper right there with the Lamborghini text running down it, and looks nice as well. The overall discs look nice, and the rims look okay as well, compared to the Reventon version where there's no caliper at all. So that's quite a big disadvantage from Burago. If I have to give their wheels a score, it wouldn't be very high at all, probably a 3 out of 10, whereas the Maisto I would probably give a 5 out of 10. Good details on the rims, tyres are done nicely, and they've got the calipers there with sufficient detail on the calipers, and the discs look nice and spin through the calipers as well. So Maisto is way in the league of Burago at this moment. The side of the model as well by Burago, all of these cooling vents here got no metal meshing at all. It's just blacked out with plastic. Not the best done. And just the overall side profile of the car, not much detailing, but it is shaped very nicely. It has got the famous Reventon lines, very angular, and I think it does look okay as a Reventon model anyway. Whereas the Maisto model has got grills. If I could just tilt it a little bit more, you can just about see the grills in the cooling vent for the engine on the side. The Superleggra sticker running across the side of the car is done nicely with Superleggra there. You've got the side skirts of the model, which is not done or not finished in a carbon fibre pattern, but looks quite nice. And the overall, as I've said, the overall paint finish on this model is very nicely done considering the price of the model as well. So Maisto, in my opinion, is way in the league at the moment. Let's have a look at the rear of the models. So on the Burago model, you can see the sticker brake light that sits on top of the engine. Not the best finish, doesn't look very nice in my opinion. I think they would have just been better off just doing a nice thin strip rather than a big sticker covering most of the top. You can see the Lamborghini sticker, which is okay, the number plate's okay. The exhaust is quite nicely done. You can see that big exhaust, but then you can see the 4 exhausts that sit inside quite clearly. Nicely done by Burago, good detail. And the overall diffuser is done quite nicely, quite angular and quite aggressive. Again, these in the underneath the rear lights are just black plastic. They're not grills, or there's no mesh there. Good detail on the rear lights, but again, I think it's lacking what Maisto has got on the Superleggra. So again, on the Superleggra, similar from the Reventon, you've got the brake light off that sits on the spoiler, but I think it's nicely done. I mean, it's very thin, clear red brake light compared to that on top there, which doesn't look very nice. I think that's a bit more of a cleaner look. The rear lights are done nicely. Again, same material used for the grills, just this plastic mesh lookalike material. The exhausts aren't done great by Maisto on the back, quite poor actually, but again, it's not too bad. Just doesn't stand out at all compared to the Burago exhaust. And the rear diffuser is done quite nicely and also finished in a carbon fibre weave, or decals, whereas the Burago version is not. And also the spoiler and the engine surroundings also finished in carbon fibre, whereas there's no carbon fibre on the Reventon model. So coming round again on the other side, again you've got decent details on the fuel cap compared to the Maisto model, but overall for exterior finish I would give this Burago model a 4 out of 10. Quite poorly done, but overall I think it's not too bad. It will just about pass for a exterior for a model car in this price range, whereas I'd give a good 6 out of 10 for the Maisto Superleggra, for the prime reasons of good application of paint, good materials used, and overall finish of the model to be better than the Burago model. So now that we've done the exterior of the model, let's have a closer look when we open up everything and see the detail from the inside perspective. So I've got my key here. Let's start to open up the compartments. If I do it from underneath, that's it, get underneath it, and I'll do the same for the Maisto model. Again, this is quite similar now, so again there's no detail, there's no finish in the Burago version at all. It's just plastic, there's not much detail in there to see. In fact, there's just nothing in that one or that one. Exactly the same, plastic, no nice finishes in there. But again, for the prices of these models, you don't really expect any velvet or anything in there that you might find from, let's say, a Hot Wheels Elite example or Super Elite example. So exactly the same scores for interior, boot 2, 3 out of 10. Not much detail at all in there. So let's have a look at the interior. Now the Reventon has got the famous Lamborghini scissor doors, which do feel quite nice when you open them up. You don't feel like you're kind of breaking them or anything. So let's take a closer look inside Burago's interior. You can just about see that. Get my light on it. You can see there is sufficient detail in the interior. The good steering wheel, pedals, the gearbox is visible, and overall good finish in materials used, but I don't think it's as good as the Maisto, and I will show you that now. Overall it's not too bad, but the Maisto model I think trumps it a bit. You can see the black seats, you've got the 4-point harness sitting around the seat, which is done quite nicely. You can see the metal buckles and the straps sitting across, and then if we flip this around, you've got Gallardo on the door seals, Lamborghini sticker on the steering wheel, carbon fibre on the dash. Pedals are done quite nicely. You've got the carpets on the floor, carbon fibre on the dash as well. And I just think there's a wider and better use of materials on the Maisto model compared to the Burago model. Both look quite similar, but close up there is better materials used on the Maisto model, so I would give a higher score for the Maisto. I'd probably give the Maisto a 6 out of 10, whereas the Burago would get a 4 out of 10 on interior finish and uses of materials. So the engine bays for this model, and then I'll open up the Burago engine and we can have a look at them. They look fairly similar, the engines. Let's have a look at the Maisto model. Now you can see the carbon fibre around it. Overall good finish. You can see quite a lot of detail. It sits quite far down. Lamborghini on the engine. You can see the hosing, the mounts, some other engine details in there. And also this Maisto version, which the Burago doesn't, it has working suspension on all the corners, which is nice. You can see the springs going up and down in the corners as well. And let's just take a comparison look over where the Burago version, there's not really much to see. Yeah, I just don't think it's as impressive as the Maisto for the money. You can't really see much further down than that. You can just see the bare minimum, whereas in the Maisto there's just a lot more in there to see. As a side-to-side comparison, I would probably recommend the Maisto. More details, better materials, working suspension, and more depth to the engine than the Burago version. For the same money as well, I would probably buy the Maisto model. So if I had to give the engine a score, I would give the Maisto a 7 out of 10 and the Burago a 5 out of 10. You can just see the bare minimum in the Burago model, where I think Maisto have gone a bit up and beyond with the engine details, and you can see a bit more for the money that you pay for this model car. So that's probably the end of my comparison video between Burago and Maisto. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments what you think about these two models and these two manufacturers, whether you would buy or you would prefer a Burago over a Maisto. But concluding, my thoughts would be Maisto is the better version to buy than Burago, even though these are quite old cars and Burago have probably produced better models with a bit more detail on. With these two, I would probably recommend the Maisto over the Burago model. Better details, better finish, interiors nicely done, good engine bay, working suspension, wheels and the discs and the calipers are all done quite nicely, and for $30–40 it's a no-brainer in my eyes. Whereas the Burago model has large panel gaps around the lights and all the panels around the model, poor quality materials regarding the sticker, missing calipers, no depth to the engine bay, no working suspension, poor stickers at the rear, and I just think overall the quality is not on par with Maisto. So that is the end of my review. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will be doing another video tomorrow, so I will see you guys then. So take care.